Welcome to History Adventuring. I'm Brad Hall, and today we'll be traveling to the mid-1970s when I was a teenager. This is from my History Adventuring blog. I was born in 1958 and graduated from high school in 1976, which makes me the generation of the baby boomers, which goes from 46 to 64. The next generation is called Generation X, and it starts about 20 years later after the first baby boomers were born. That makes sense, because an average generation is about 20 years. People usually have children in their 20s, become grandparents by their 40s, and great-grandparents by their 60s. If you've done your genealogy, you know that this is the rough estimate that you usually do, although there are exceptions, of course. Where it gets confusing for people is when you define yourself by your teenage years, in which case someone who is still in your generation would have a dramatically different experience. I'll see if I can explain. Although nowadays, in my 60s, anyone from 55 to 100 seems to be about my age, when we talk about what we remember as teens, the difference really shows. The TV shows and the music that I remember from the mid-70s usually gets vague stares, or maybe, I've kind of heard of it from someone who was in high school in the 60s or the 80s, which nowadays doesn't seem all that far away from the 70s. And to be fair, when I graduated from high school, anyone who was just starting high school didn't even seem to be there for me. Seniors didn't usually even talk to sophomores. There was only a small difference in age. In that short period of time, my taste in music would have been seen as very old-fashioned to them, and theirs to be just noise. I have my old high school yearbook, and I have no idea who the people in the other years were, even a year above or below me. They might have been a whole nother generation. And although it wasn't to my tastes, the biggest album of my high school years was Frampton Comes Alive, which I'm guessing you remember well if you were a teenager in the 70s. And if not, maybe not at all, or you've just heard of it. Here, I'll sing a bit of it. I want you to show me the way every day. Okay, this has been History Adventuring. I'll talk to you later.